They're coming up. Will they make it over the top is the question. Oh, that one did. Okay, that guy just went off into oblivion, hopefully never to be seen again. This is the sole survivor. Today, for the first time ever, we're going to build stuff that's supposed to help people instead of hurt them. Now, I am pretty new to this concept, but I think I'll be able to figure it out given just a little bit of time and a lot of coffee. Because it's not as easy as just building a road across the gap. That won't even hold itself up, let alone two little cars. And building that road used up 1/4 of my entire budget so far, so I probably got to use wood for the rest. I was so confident that this was going to be the design to make it work, but it can't even support itself. And sometimes the answer really is just a simple, boring one. Build a bunch of arches, the vehicles drive right across, no one has to die. Although I did go a little bit overboard on my budget, I'm not super happy with that. So I think maybe what we need for some of these is actually less materials and more cars flying through the air. The more they can do that, the more money I'm gonna save. Couldn't possibly see what goes wrong with this plan. This one might need a little bit of work. Starting to realize just how weak a bridge is if it's not properly anchored to that other side, because it all just tends to fall wherever it wants. And again, it's just kind of the boring ones that work. They're easy and they work, but they're boring. The cars just drive across, nothing happens. The bridge only wiggles a little bit. Now we're getting somewhere. We gotta make it up to there, so our bridge has to go up the hill. And I think it's probably better just to get that uphill battle out of the way right away. We can even reinforce it with some wood. And yeah, that's surely gonna work just great. Nailed it. Alright, this design doesn't look like much, but I've actually succeeded at making a bridge that doesn't collapse. The vehicle can't get over it, but it doesn't collapse either. If we're going the other way, it would have no problem. So I've made the ramp slightly less steep, so hopefully he'll be able to get his nose up on there. There we go. My first stupid creation, and look at that budget. We did really good with that one. $4,600 out of our $9,000. Two-part bridge. Oh, we gotta go up 2 hills. I'm good at the hill ones though. Tried to replicate whatever it was I just did for the first one. And oh, if that car was just a little stronger. That one's got a longer nose on it, so it can't climb as quick. And this is the first time I'm realizing I can actually change the angle, so we can zoom in and see what's going on with these idiots. So we're just gonna lessen the angle a little bit. Also on that one. Yeah, that'll probably work out just fine. Reconnect with some wood to keep it all as one kind of solid structure. Good enough for me. Off they go. And yep. Nope. Just a little more cross bracing right in here, and I think we're probably ready to go again. Oh, that thing just kind of hangs there. Probably should have connected that to something. Alright, by adding a bunch of stuff down below, I've gotten the first part taken care of. Not loving my budget right now. $6,500 is a bit much to spend on this side, but we got this part covered. Now for the bigger gap. I'm basically going to replicate whatever it is I did here, but up here. And I even have a ground support, which I might not even use because I don't think I really need to. Now, I don't want to alarm anyone, but this actually works. I was just messing around. It's not going to work so much anymore. Can we redo that? But yeah, all we got to do is go like this, and then we rotate, and it climbs right up there. I did not think that shouldn't have worked. I was just screwing around, and it worked. Now on this one, we have boat A coming through. So it's going to come through, ruin our bridge, and our car is going to drive straight into the water. Excellent. What if it's possible to sneak a bridge just over top of the boat? We're going to see if that's possible before moving on with this. My stupid ideas have worked so far, so I'm just going to let them keep rolling. Actually, I think that's kind of the point because it won't let me use hydraulics on this level yet anyways. Now, the finished product is probably going to look something like this. Basically, I'm going to have one big row of what support, basically the structure of the bridge. As long as I can keep that up in the air using these supports, everything else should follow suit. Might need a little bit of work on this one, but you see what I'm getting at? Added a little bit more structure there because I am definitely an engineer at heart. And the boat doesn't even clear the bridge. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. Gonna have to rethink this one. So that bit of road has got to go, and we got to replace it with a slightly higher piece of road. Honestly, that might work out really nicely. The boat goes right on under there. Like, that's no problem. Great. And the car, you know what? We have some structural issues still. We'll address those. Did I do it right? Oh, it was closer though. It wanted to work. We're making progress. We're just kind of trading one problem for another though. At first, the boat didn't fit under my bridge. I fixed that. Now the car can't make it onto the bridge. The bridge itself is holding up though pretty nicely. So we'll shift this. I'm probably going to have to delete some wood to do it. But we're close. This might be it. Probably not. I'm really starting to hate these cars with really tiny wheels. If it wasn't for those, this masterpiece of a bridge would be absolutely perfect. And we're even still under budget. I figured by just adding a bunch of stuff right here, we'll eventually get the strength we need to finish this bridge, though I'm getting pretty close to my budget. So a couple more pieces of wood later, and we're getting close. You know what? Budgets are overrated anyways. No, we were so close. For some reason, it doesn't seem to like this little bump in the road. I couldn't imagine why. Boat goes through, no problem. Car drives onto it. As soon as it hits the bump, I think it gives it that little bit of extra force to collapse it. That's what I'm blaming it on, so we'll start fresh. I just realized on my last build that I was wasting precious budget trying to build a bridge way up here because I need to support this extra area. Now I don't need all that material. It's going to be so much cheaper. Okay, here's where we're at. The bridge holds itself up, the boat goes under, but for some reason the bridge doesn't like when the car does that. When it crashes down into the ground, that's too much force and the whole thing collapses at pretty much the worst possible spot. Now this might be it. All I had to do was add some wood that I forgot I deleted. Gonna be close though. So far so good. Yep, I think we're just fine. It's weird how the bridge goes from like disastrously unstable to perfectly fine. The budget, not in a great zone. I'll take it. This level was annoying. Simple jump. The game wants me to jump stuff. Before I even start to envision this masterpiece, let's see what happens. That man takes a drink, followed by a blue car crashing down on top of him. He's definitely deceased. The challenge with this one that I quite like is that I've only got 6 pieces of road to work with. 5 for those of us that can count. So this is as much as I can build and I have to clear the gap. Strangely, this almost worked and we're actually almost at budget, so I'm definitely doing something very wrong, but as you can see, the moped doesn't really make it, but the car gets kind of close and it does a front flip on the way, so what's not to like? Alright, after building like this, giving it a little bit more support, the moped actually makes it, the car does not. I was hoping I would be able to do this all from one side like that, but I think I'm supposed to build a landing platform over here, that way the car jumps about here, lands somewhere here, and everyone's happy. So starting out with a very rudimentary cheap ramp that's still eating up over a third of my budget, I can maybe land the car right about here onto some kind of platform. I'll make this work. This looks pretty good in theory, but I know the impact of a car dropping at 100 miles an hour onto it is probably going to break it. But I'm okay with that. I'm willing to sacrifice a few cars to make this work. Moped? Even the moped breaks it. I like how I can just take any of my terrible ideas, just add a few extra pieces of wood, and they seem to work. Moped goes, car breaks it. Oh, does that count? Oh, come on. The moped made it. The car almost did. Not my fault they died. It was probably a driving error. Let's try that again. Okay, moped. Moped's fine. The car breaks it, and the car made it this time. 50% fatality rate is a pass in my books. This one, we've got to go up and over the boat. I have 6 pieces of steel to work with and some rope. Because, yeah, I want to hang steel on rope. Or rope from steel, whatever the case. This will be interesting. I'm hoping with this one, I can just be really lazy and put steel pillars up over here and hang ropes to the bridge, and that'll hold everything up for me. That would be really great. The ropes do attach a long ways. This might actually kind of work. I mean, I've had stupider things work before. Thought those steel pillars might be a little bit stronger, so I'll just have to cable them to each other. I guess I should probably remember that this is rope as well, not actually steel cables, but the blue car almost made it. That's interesting. Oh, I'm already over budget too, so I probably shouldn't do it this way. I need to rethink my strategy again. I don't think this was supposed to be how I did it because I didn't use any ropes, but ropes are really expensive and I didn't want to do it like that. So I used $20,500 of my budget. The blue car makes it over, just kind of barely, so I'm worried about the red car because its nose is so long. It might get caught up on that. Oh, I forgot about the boat too. Wow, it actually cleared it. I was a little nervous about that. I didn't leave it very much room at all. Come on, red car, we don't have all day. So far, so good. I think I'm going to like steel. Don't get stuck. That's a pretty big problem, honestly, because that's not really a spot I can fix easy. I can work around that, but it's not going to be easy because if I lower this angle changes and hits the boat, so this angle has to change. That's okay. Okay, not only did I fix it, I made it even better because now we have a jump involved. The bridge doesn't like the jump as much as I do. I might actually have the solution right here. The blue car did make it. It wasn't graceful, but it made it. As long as the stupid red car gets up and over that, doesn't break the bridge, we'll be okay. Except for the fact that I'm over budget. This red car really isn't my friend today. All I want to do is make a bridge with a little jump in it that actually works. Is that too much to ask? I think I might have finally found a solution. Red car, please just... never mind. I think I have the solution. It's actually been really simple this entire time. We've just got to find a way to jump the middle of the river. Remember what I was saying before? Less bridge equals more savings. The other side's still going to need some work. That was just kind of a placeholder, and I don't know if that's going to work. The cars aren't super fast. Well, guess who's coming in under budget by $4,000? Super confident in this one. Combining steel with the wood, we don't need ropes. Ropes aren't for bridges, ropes are for boats. Now all we gotta do is get the red car over top and we're good. We were so close. We're gonna go slow motion on this one to see where the bridge starts to fail. That way I know which part I need to add a few more pieces to. So right here. Okay, I think I got it. I don't know how I managed to spend $2,000 doing that, but I spent another $2,000 on a few pieces of wood that I probably didn't need, because I realized I was missing one integral part. There we go. The car landed upside down, but you got your damn bridge. Now it's giving us hydraulics to play with. Blue car in. I assume the boat comes next, and yeah, we'll get to that part. Hydraulics are expensive, and I don't feel like learning something new right now, so I'm pretty sure I can just scoot right over top of that boat, which should be coming in any second now. Do we have to have hydraulics do something for the level to continue? I'm a little confused. Can we just drive the other car across at this point? I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing here. I even attached hydraulics that don't do anything to the bridge and it won't let me pass. Long story short, I had a little change of heart. I decided I would go with hydraulics. I made a very simple bridge, added a hydraulic setup to it, detached it from the ground right there. Long story short, it looks something like this. That bridge is perfectly structural, very strong. It's very simple, very strong. The hydraulics lifts it up. Boat goes right on under. Red car, do your thing. Please don't break the bridge. I think I actually did it. Very simple in the end. Way, way under budget. Interesting. Now we get checkpoints where cars do weird things. So that's got to go to there and stop. Whatever the case, we'll just get the car up there and see what happens from there. So the star does nothing. I think this design should about do it. No frills. Car goes up, grabs the star, goes down. Breaks just before it gets there, and we're over budget. I can't build a very simple bridge. I decided to revise my plans because I want to come in under budget. So far so good, we're under halfway there and we're only halfway across. Car drives up, grabs the star, crashes into the ocean. Case closed. Unfortunately, it's just not the kind of game that's going to let us get away with that sort of thing, so we need to build a proper road back down. Or most of the way over. This stupid design might actually work. It was very close considering I just ran out of budget, so I stopped building. It's always my stupidest ideas, the ones I put the least thought into that actually work the best. Like, that's actually pretty close. This might be the winning ticket, and it was really that simple all along. Sometimes simpler really is better. All I had to do was just kind of that. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be even. It just kind of has to get the car to where it's going. A low budget bridge? Those are my specialty, with a dump truck no less. Oh, this is going to be easy. Is it a bad idea to build like this? I'm not really sure. I just figure the less supports I have to build, the cheaper it's gonna be. Is that a good idea? We'll find out. My masterpiece is complete. We're almost $1,000 under budget, but will it hold up? Actually, a lot better than I thought it would. Wonder how many of these dump truck drivers we have to sacrifice. No one seems to miss them. Filling in the center gap put us over budget, but that might be what it takes to make this work. It's closer. It's a lot closer. We have some extra parts we don't need somewhere. I think I want to try lowering this whole upper area. That way it's way down here. It should be more or less the same strength, but just I can do a lot more of it because there's going to be so much smaller of it, which is going to look really, really weird, but most of my bridges kind of do look that way anyways. Not sure if this is going to be better or worse, but it's a change. You know what? I don't think we improved our bridge that much. All right. I think I see what we have to do. I want a clean slate. We're over budget with this, but is it going to hold for one thing? We need to make sure it's sound, and then we can slowly start removing pieces. It's not quite there yet. Basically right now, I'm just working my way along, raising things up slightly as it goes. We're still over budget. I just want to get it to a point where it's functional. And we're pretty close there. It let me complete it with that, but I'm way, way over budget. I'm at $11,000 over my $7,500 budget. I'm really determined to make this one work though. A few adjustments later, we're actually getting really, really close. It goes down, it goes up, and just about makes it over. We're just under budget, but we're still just a little bit out somewhere. So I'm just going to adjust things one more time by going kind of, well, we got to find some space first, and then, yep, that might do it, or it might make it worse. We don't know, it's all this trial and error, but you know what? It's making it worse. I wasn't even paying attention to what just happened, but my truck did cross the bridge. $49 over budget though, so I don't like that one bit, but it does like this. Whoops, a few small adjustments on that last one and we'll have it. Except for once you complete the bridge, it deletes it, so I guess we're just going to the next level. Double decker should pose an interesting challenge. We got two vehicles to get across all at the same time. I'm okay with them landing on top of each other though. Okay, so 2 has to go to 2, 1 has to go to 1. I was hoping I could just kind of stack them together. I had a really fun idea. My first idea is to use the steel pillars on either side. There's only 2 of them, but that'll give us lots of strength a little bit out from the ground. And from there, I just span everything in between, and that should be really straightforward. So ropes aren't enough to hold up the lower road. I thought they might be, but that's not a bad start, all things considered. Let's see how this holds up. I just realized this is uneven, but you know what? We're $12,000 under budget so far, so actually that might work out just fine. No, it kind of falls apart there in the middle a little bit, but you see what I'm getting at. Now it feels like we're pretty close on this, but being that it's just absolutely destroying itself right in the middle, that's kind of a problem. You can see where the stress buildup is though. It's right here in the middle. So if I secure those two, I think it's going to actually hold everything together. So let's find out. Nope, not yet, but we're getting closer. We're just trying to get the force transferred elsewhere. If I reinforce that, it's going to put the force elsewhere. As long as that elsewhere is strong enough to hold up this bar, we'll be laughing. My newest idea, add another row of triangles up top. That might be enough to defer all the force elsewhere, so everything is strong enough and we just cruise on across. Alright, well, we were $6,000 under budget. Not great, but good enough for me. They act like levels like this are a challenge for me. All of my bridges go as close to the ground and back up again. Just because I feel like that's a good idea, even though obviously it's not, because look at real life. Do any bridges you know touch the ground and come back up? Attempt number 1 for whatever these things are, go. Zoom it in a little bit. Is it going to do it? Well, it was closer than I thought it was going to be for my first attempt at 2/3 budget. I've still got lots to work with. I just realized though, I probably don't need to put the road right at the bottom of the stars. I could probably just skim the top of them. So maybe I am going a little bit down deeper than I have to be. I mean, it's fun that my bridge goes underwater. I wonder if I can build an underwater bridge. Hold on. The water can take all the weight. This isn't real life anyways, so maybe if I do put it down there, actually the water's going to take some of the weight and we'll come right back up. We'll have a submergible bridge. Just when you thought this couldn't get any stupider, we're building an underwater bridge. In theory, this would kind of work, because as the bridge sits on water, it would alleviate some of the stress on the bridge. But the water on top of the bridge might also counteract that. I don't think enough to make a difference though. But there's a reason they don't do it in real life. It's not the prettiest bridge in the world, but we're getting closer. The problem I'm having is it doesn't seem to like when the vehicles hit this little ramp, because it transfers all that force straight down into that lower deck, right in the middle of the span. I don't know if this is possible. So this kind of works actually. The vehicles go down. The bridge holds up, they go under the water, but apparently the level fails. I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to stop it from eating the next star. I wasn't really paying attention. I mostly just wanted to build a bridge under the water, and you know what? The bridge absolutely functions as a bridge. I'm just not really sure what the stars mean. Is this trying to tell me that A1 is supposed to get the blue star and A2 is supposed to get the red star? Because that's definitely not what I've been trying to do this entire time. And did you know I had pieces of steel I could have been working with this entire time? That doesn't really matter though. I wanted to use wood because wood floats on water. So here's the problem. So far so good. As soon as truck 1 touches star 2, it fails. So yeah, I've got to get A1 to get star 1, A2 to get star 2. And I don't know how to do that yet. I decided to be a smartass and see if I could just build a bridge where the vehicles could cross without getting the stars. And the game doesn't like that either for some reason. But these guys do try and climb out of the map, which is interesting. That could lead to some fun potential in itself. So interestingly, if you go over budget, you can actually build a road beyond the end of where you're supposed to be. So we're going to see what happens when we send the trucks over there. Trucks, I don't really know what they're called. These things. They're coming up. Will they make it over the top is the question. Oh, that one did. Okay, that guy just went off into oblivion, hopefully never to be seen again. This is the sole survivor. Did the other one come back? Yup, it's still here unfortunately. Well, at least I managed to break it in that sense and killed at least one of the people in the game.